Hello and welcome to our Facebook Live. This is regarding emergency duty foster care, and to give you a little bit more information about what's involved in becoming emergency duty foster carer for Warwickshire County Council. My name is Rebecca Clifford. I'm the Recruitment and Assessment Manager for Warwickshire, and this is my colleague.
And I'm Tracy Avell. I'm the Service Manager for the Placement Hub.
So we just wanted to really chat to you about what's involved in emergency duty, and we know it's at the moment the programme that we run is a 2 week on 2 week off rota system. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we have a rota that's set throughout the whole year. Obviously there's scope for changing that if somebody's going on holiday and they contact us in advance, and then we can swap the rota around. But somebody will be on 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks then you are available to accept a phone call, normally from the children's team, or it may be from the hub if it's very close to out of hours. From 5:30 to 9 a.m. you may be called to look after a young person who's obviously in a crisis situation. And
you can keep them till 12 o'clock the next day?
That's right, so 12 o'clock the next day, if it's a weekday, the social worker or somebody from the children's team will come and make arrangements to collect that young person. So then you do have the opportunity to have a little bit of time to yourselves, whether that may be changing beds or whatever else you need to do in life. So you have that opportunity. If it's a weekend though, on a Friday, if you get a young person who needs a home, then obviously the expectation would be that you provide a home for that child until the Monday. So it would be 12 o'clock on the Monday that young person would be picked up.
Okay. So what kind of children, young people would you be getting on an emergency duty situation?
It can range really for all ages. So we've had situations where sadly police have been called to emergency remove really very young babies if they're obviously in danger, up to teenagers where there's something that's happened and it's been a very difficult weekend, and again the police are involved or social services involved because that young person's at significant risk in their own environment and their community.
Okay, and I think what I was talking about earlier is that actually you might get asylum seeking young people, or you might get a baby. It is really varied, which is part of the excitement of it. I think is what the ones that are on the rota at the moment say is that that's exciting, that you get to meet new people and new cultures and all those kind of things that come with it. So
yeah, absolutely, and you're working across different teams all the time. So certainly, as you just said there, the US team, you're working with those social workers. You may be working with obviously the children's safeguarding team. So yeah, a real breadth of professionals that are involved in a foster carer's lives under the ED scheme.
Okay, so we're looking for people who can help us out and do the 2 week on 2 week off system, and at the moment that's the fee pay is £411 per week on duty plus foster care allowances, and then £100 on a retainer.
That's right.
On the break period, on your resting period.
Yeah.
Time to reboot, and I think we have a lot of couples who are coming to the end of their fostering career or transferring into Warwickshire, or maybe that are thinking about a different way of doing things as sort of their career development, who still want a bit of quiet time and want their holidays. So I think it can really fit with that lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have had, and again, I don't know how these individuals fit it all in, but we have had people that also have other jobs, and they work it flexibly around their jobs, because as I said, a young person should be picked up at 12 o'clock the next day. So some people also dedicate that time when they know they're going to be free to something else, whether that's a hobby or whether it's a different paid employment.
Yeah, and I think that's that also fits with our flexible approach to emergency duty, because we know we haven't got enough rotated emergency duty foster carers. We ask for people who are willing to do this as and when, and give us time and availability to do that. So how's that working in the hub?
That's been really beneficial, and actually we all got really excited the other day because we had a young person in a boarding school, and obviously boarding schools, they come home at holiday times, and sadly this person couldn't go back to his family, and we had a flexible foster carer who'd recently been approved, and the match was perfect.
Amazing.
And everybody was, it really, it's just great when you get the matches so right. And for that young person, it means they can be normal and they go home as all their other pupils go home, and they're going back to a consistent family. So that's worked really well.
So on our flexible, you could come as a planned periods of time. You could do planned emergency duty. So that would be where you're not on the 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off system, but you could say, I'm available this weekend to do emergency duty, to be a backup carer. and just put me on the board and I'm ready to take those calls.
Yeah, and certainly we're in situations, and obviously we're always planning through the day, and if we know that sadly we've got 2 or 3 young people that need placements on an emergency basis same day, we will call that foster carer who said, actually I can help out this week, and said, okay, we're putting you on standby, we might need you from 5:30 today, and obviously we'll have that conversation to ensure they know whether they're going to be needed on the rota or not.
We know
so
a
that's
lot.
worked well.
Yeah, a lot of people can't commit full time to fostering, but want to offer us something. So, you know, we'll take that emergency duty offer for somebody to contribute, and I think it fits really well with people like teachers who've got that a little bit of time, although that we know they're busy, they might have that time in the holidays where they're available to offer us it a couple of weeks, and that's good enough, isn't it? That's all we're after.
Yeah, and certainly weekends again. I mean, as you said, you know, it's if you're working full time, you want your weekends, but there may be some opportunities of people that working perhaps part time, or they just want to diversify a little bit. So again, if somebody says, actually, I can't offer in the week, but I can offer Friday to Monday, or cover bank holidays, for instance, that would be really, really helpful to us.
Yeah, because I think the busy periods are the summer holidays and Christmas, aren't they? So having somebody there to give that back up when our foster carers want holidays as well is really important. So in terms of the realities of what it looks like to be an emergency duty foster carer, you're getting calls in the night, but not a lot at the moment. I think it's more pre-planned, sort of the end of the working day when we can't find anywhere for a child to go. Yeah,
it tends to be. That's the majority of the calls, but you do on the odd occasion you will get called out, or get called by the emergency duty teams at an early hour. So you have to be prepared for that, I think. But the majority of the time is those conversations from the hub saying, perhaps at 5:15, 5:20, we've got this young person, this is the referral, we'll share the referral with you. So you do have some of that background information. Those calls that come later from the emergency teams, by the very nature, that information won't be as full.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it can be risky, but it's more about being prepared, isn't it? Yeah. And we have robust safer caring procedures in place to support, you know, managing children, young people who might be coming, who are dysregulated or going through trauma themselves, which is highly likely, isn't it? So we make sure you're trained and supported, and that you've got the package around you. That's why we've got the RAP team that can provide that backup support, and the emergency duty team that provide the support throughout the night if there's challenges. And
I know I'm probably being a bit generalising a little bit, but to be fair, our young people are exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, if they've been through that level of trauma and that crisis, they need. It's really sad. It makes me feel quite sad, but they just need a comfortable bed, and they need hot water. They may need a bath and some food
and Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi. Definitely Wi-Fi. Yeah, we can't have somebody that lives remotely. But yeah, a lot of our children are exhausted and they just need to sleep.
Yeah, and they want to feel comfortable and safe.
Absolutely, safe is the absolutely right word. And if some foster carers can facilitate that, then that must be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, I think the foster carers that are on the duty rota at the moment talk about helping a child to calm down, feel settled, to regulate the behaviour and emotions, and prepare them for moving on to wherever they're going to go, which is their more structured placement.
Yeah.
So it's a lot about that emotional preparation that they're giving them to move forward. And they said if they leave with a smile on their face, they've done a good job.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And as I say, it must be really rewarding just to hold somebody for that short period of time and just give them that little bit of stability.
Yeah,
and that care.
And it's a really sort of balanced way to do it, in that you get your respite and your breaks as well planned into the package.
Yeah.
So really, if you wanted to become an emergency duty foster carer, you can just fill in the online inquiry form just like you would inquire at any point. You can call us on the number on the website, and my colleague Hayley will be there to take those calls. We'll get back to you with a brochure and some further information. There's information on the website, on the emergency duty page, but there's also lots of information about why foster for Warwickshire, and why emergency duty might be for you. But pop any questions in the chat bar and we'll answer them now. All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.